Good morning. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today we're going to be talking about healing through our service to others. Healing through service to others. But I was speaking with a friend who's in a 12-step program the other day. And, the 12-step program is a really powerful transformational healing journey. And it's, guided step by step. Yet his sponsor had shared with him that the magic really happens when you begin to help others, when you start reaching out to help others. And, you know, the simple things that we can do to look to someone with a compassionate smile that just says, I see you. I have some idea of what you're going through, and there is hope. We can extend a hand that says, here's something that helped me, and it might help you too. And you'll see that you're not alone. We don't have to be perfected before we can be of service, but we do, for those of you, and I know people here have all been on a healing journey, we reach a point where we feel gratitude for having found a way out of our pain or through the struggles that we were in. We've gained some insights and some wisdom, and we feel compassion for others who are still caught in the same struggle that we were in. I've been doing this healing work, excuse me, for almost 30 years now. And most people who come to be healers and coaches, I've been, involved in schools that teach healing and um, and most of the people that come through they've been through their own traumas or abuse or they've had some serious struggles in life, addiction, poverty, dreadful mistakes, and they've found a way through and they've seen light and they've found, a place of like a higher consciousness or an inner peace, and to serve others, to turn that then into service is an expression of the gratitude that we feel, the compassion that we feel for others when we see others that are going through the same thing we did, and we know their struggles. And it's also when you step onto that reaching out to help others, it's a continuation of your own personal healing journey, because this is the way the universe works, right? They're going to bring you people that are going to show you your next step or help you to see some aspect of yourself more clearly when you look at it through their eyes, or it's going to help you to become more accepting of yourself and the choices you've made in life, and ultimately to love and accept yourself more completely. The service gives us that sense of purpose, of value, accomplishment. We feel useful, and everyone needs to feel useful. They need to have something of value that you contribute to the world. And this is true for our, fellow adults, also for our elderly. This has been a huge component in what I've been able to offer to my dad, as my dad's almost 101 now and been living with him for 6 years. And that I know is one of the things that has kept him going, is I've been able to just really help him to feel that, he can give me advice. I'll laugh at his jokes. He can teach me new things, and I can be his arms and legs and his muscles for him so that he can keep doing the things that he loves to do and continue to feel like he's value of service. He's got capability, he's got purpose. And this is true for our elderly, and it's also true for our children. They're not just there to get in our way. We've got to build that up in them too. And to be of service in this way is rewarding for those who are serving and those who are receiving equally. And it's a give and take, and it feeds both. So today we're going to look at, how has your life prepared you to serve? Where has your journey led you? What fulfills your heart? We're gonna have a healing aspect of this, a healing component to it, as well as an exploration of that opening for you. Where is that opening for you? So let's go ahead and come into our meditation and healing circle. Let's come into our circle sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together as one. And we come together, the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you, we ask you to send your essence of your pure divine light. Send your essence of your pure divine light. Just imagine, feel, perceive. So we come together here, this pure divine light streaming down into the center of our circle. And just let this light, just let your whole being face into this light. Let all of your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, all of your sensory perceptions face into this light and feel it, receive it into your body through all of your sensory organs. Let it fall on your skin and penetrate through your pores. Bring your heart center to face into this light. Face it with the eye of your heart as well. And your whole body, this hara, this ball of energy at the front of your belly space, bring that to face into this light as well. Let your whole being receive and absorb this pure light into your whole body. Right. I am a huge proponent for receiving these divine powers of light and love and compassion into your body. Remember, these divine powers are unconditional. They are what they are, what they are, what they are, and they're ever present, and we can always receive them. We human beings are the ones that recognize conditions, and we place conditions on whether or not we can receive and give and whether we're worthy. That's all from the humanity, from the ego. It's by divine design, it's by divine plan, but those are from ourselves. The divine powers don't care about our conditions. So even if those conditions are present for you that says, well, I can't let it go here. I can't let this part of myself be seen. I can't let this part of myself be loved. There's no way that I could have compassion for this part of myself because it's too broken or damaged. Any of those voices that come up, just let those be surrounded by light and love and compassion as well. So let your entire body, right, inside your body, you don't have to leave your body to be filled with light and love and compassion and then come back later. We're going to stay in our bodies right here and right now, bring all of ourselves to face this light and receive. Let this light penetrate in and into all of your pores, through all of your sensory organs and through your heart. Let your entire being absorb this light. And use your breath. Use your breath to draw the light, breathe in and draw the light all the way into your core, into the center of your body. That center channel of energy that runs through the top of your head, through the center of your body. And again, let's call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your unconditional love. Unconditional love. Just feel, imagine, perceive this pure, unconditional love streaming into the center of our circle, filling this entire space with love. Love that is love, that loves, that is loving, no matter what. And let your whole being just be surrounded and enveloped in this unconditional love. Your whole being be surrounded and enveloped in unconditional love. Even the parts of yourself that feel unlovable, just let them be held. Those are the ones that need the love the most. So let them be held. Let them be loved. Let your entire being be loved, surrounded in compassion. And just let your heart center, that funnel of energy at the front of your chest, just let it face into this stream of love. Let it tip up and receive this stream of love in through that funnel, and let it pour all the way through your chest, through your heart center, all the way into the core of your body. You can use your breath with this also. Breathe in, let your heart center be like a breathing portal, and breathe in this unconditional love into your heart. And as you exhale, Just let yourself release any of the tension or the clutter from your heart space. And inhale, draw in that pure, divine light and unconditional love in through your heart center, all the way in. Let it go in deeper with each inhale. And as you exhale, blow out any of the clutter, the tension. Inhale again, take it in deeper and deeper. And let yourself just upright your spine, right? Lengthen your spine and let your conscious body lean back into your spine, into that vertical core. Lean back into that and inhale that pure divine light and unconditional love in through your heart and let it come all the way into your core and just gently shower you with this pure divine light and unconditional love and let yourself, your body, your conscious being, as you're leaning into your vertical core, like in front of your spine, you're leaning into that space and receiving this light and this love and this compassion. And let your body be like a sponge and absorb into every pore this pure divine light and unconditional love, absorbing it in. And even those places that feel like they can't quite take it in, just invite them. Invite them to let their guard down and just let it trickle in. Let it seep in gently, if they can do that. And this is for the core of your being. Let it be like a sponge and absorb in this pure divine light and unconditional love until your whole being, that inner sponge, is fully saturated, right? Just saturated and oozing out love and light and compassion. And we call on our source again in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your eternal compassion, right? This is the compassion that is the ocean of living consciousness that extends beyond this time and space realm, right? It's the pre-eternal. The ocean of living consciousness is pure compassion. And as you inhale in this pure divine light, unconditional love, that eternal compassion, as you exhale, let yourself drop down, right, with that upright spine, lengthened spine, drop down into your pelvic bowl, land into your hips, lean against your spine, and receive, 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 and allow your whole being to be held in this gentle ocean of compassion. Compassion is loving. Compassion is pure acceptance. It is understanding. It is seeing you, understanding you, knowing you, feeling you, and loving you. Let that completely surround and envelop your being, hold you and support you. And just let yourself stay in this space, breathing in this light and love and compassion, letting that sponge at the core of your being really absorb that all the way in until you're just saturated and dripping, soaking, oozing light and love and compassion for every bit of your being, every bit of your being. The things that really guide us to want to serve are the struggles that we've been through, right? That's what often gives us the compassion and the ability to really see people and see into them and have some inkling, some understanding of what they've been through and the help that they might need, the support that they might appreciate, right? And if you've ever like gone to someone for help or support and you've felt like, I know they meant well, maybe they did, maybe you felt like they meant well, but they really didn't get you, you know, there's something that has been given to you in your life, part of your path that you've been guided on. And it felt like a struggle for you at the time, but you found a way through, or you found some light, something to like shed some truth. on who you are and what your journey is here for, why you're here, right? And that has guided you to to want to serve, want to help others because you are a being of compassion. And through your struggles, you gain insights, you gain wisdom, and you can it's always helpful when you can talk to somebody who's been there, who has some understanding rather than just, a textbook. Well, the textbook says if you went through this, then, you experienced that, and therefore we should do this, Textbooks are great, and, there's value to them, but there's nothing like the experience of having lived it. So let's take a moment and just breathe into your heart. What is at the core of your heart? What have you lived through that feels like some significant trial and triumph? We have all had them. What are the trials and the triumphs? And just breathe into that and allow yourself, give yourself a minute to feel. Just to feel. What are the feelings that come up for you as you breathe into your heart? What arises for you? I work with a lot of people who are healers, and it's common, and I know I went through this myself for a long time, to feel like, well, but I'm not fixed yet, air quotes, fixed yet. I'm not fixed yet. How can I help someone else? Right? But like that, my friend's sponsor said to him, there's so much truth in that, so much wisdom in that. The people that show up in your life, the universe has a beautiful way of orchestrating what we need and will bring us people who, whether we recognize it or not, they actually need that little bit of wisdom or huge wisdom, as the case may be, that you've gained from your experience. They need that compassionate smile, that outstretched hand. They need to know that they're not alone and that they're seen and understood and they still have value. And when we can give that to another person and we can see them receive from that and grow from that, we can, it's so rewarding and fulfilling. So rewarding. So I want to do a healing component with this as along with this exploration. So be with that place in your heart. Be with that place in your heart that feels like, oh, yeah, you went through the struggles, you know the struggles, and you've at least embarked on the journey of triumph. Just be with that. Just let that place in your heart be surrounded by this love and compassion, and let that place in your own heart receive. And just imagine as if you were speaking to someone outside of yourself, right? What kind of compassion you would want to share with them, and start by turning that inward. Give that to your own heart. If you have an image of yourself at some time in your life that is a previous time in your life, see that person. See that child or that young adult or that teenager, whatever age that was, where this journey began and these mistakes were made, right? We hold ourselves back because of the mistakes we've made. They seem too big. We don't want to admit them. We don't want to accept them. We don't want to bring that part of ourselves along on our journey. We got to shove that back and say, no, you stay back there. I'm going to move forward and heal, but I'm going to leave you back there because I don't want to bring you along. I'm embarrassed of what we did, of what you did. And so let that part of yourself, because, healing is about being made whole. And we can't be made whole when we got a part of ourselves that we've left behind. So if you feel that part of yourself, just let that part of yourself be surrounded in the love and compassion. Beginning with serving yourself. Give compassion and love and understanding to that part of yourself. The part that made the choices you're not proud of, the part that made the mistakes that caused you pain. It's all part of the journey. It's all part of what has given you the wisdom that you have now that allows you to help others. We can't get through this life without these mistakes, without the pain, without the struggles. That's part of it. And this was a part of yours. So let that part of yours, a part of you, be surrounded in love, compassion, mercy, acceptance, understanding, and bring your own compassion and wisdom and insights to that part of yourself. Right? Give that part of yourself that benefit. Like share that wisdom and that compassion and that those insights and that mercy and that love with that part of yourself. Let that part of yourself receive that, right? Let it evolve, like from inside of yourself. Let that inner part of you evolve from the wisdom, from the love, from the compassion. Let it come forward. Let it evolve with you, right? And let it just like integrate into your core. It doesn't have to be hidden, doesn't have to be left behind. It can receive. It had wisdom too, right? Because it knew that part of you knew. It had a knowing of what was real and what was true, but it also had that conflict of, but if I stick to what's real and true for me, will I be accepted? Will I be cast out? Will I be able to get along? Can I survive? Right? It made choices for a reason. So there's a part of your insight and wisdom that it knows as well. So share that. Let that sharing of that wisdom and insight, that articulation of it, that acknowledgement of it, let it bring you and that inner part of yourself together. Let that part of yourself come back into your core and integrate to make your entire being more whole. You're really integrating into the core of you to solidify your core and make you more whole. It says healing. Healing means to make whole. And just feel that like strengthening your inner core, integrating your wisdom, integrating your insights, making you even more whole and compassionate. And again, breathe into your heart. Breathe into your heart. What is it that your heart desires to share with others? And this can be just by, if you, it can be something that you actually take into action, that you want to do some service, some volunteer work, some healing work, something that you do as a part of like a job or a career, or just not just I'm not going to use the word just anymore, or something that you do as a just when you meet someone, right? The universe will bring you someone that comes in front of you that you can recognize, just a way that you can connect at a deeper level, heart to heart, that you can share that smile and that eye to eye connection, that heart to heart connection, that in and of itself is healing, that in and of itself, just the energy of it conveys that message that you are not alone, that it is not hopeless for you, that you're not hopelessly broken, that you can evolve, you can survive, you can come through. And guess what? Even right where you are, without making any changes, you are worthy of love. You are worthy of being seen and understood and valued. You don't have to. And this is the one thing that we so get into, right? Well, I have to fix this part of myself and then I'll be worthy of love. But you're worthy of love right here and right now. And that love coming in to meet you right where you are is what heals. So that part of you that can connect into that deep place inside of that person that comes in front of you, that part of you will be able to get deeper in there and say, I see you and I know what you're going through at some level, and you are worthy of love right here. You are valuable right here. Take my hands or just feel my love, feel my compassion. Know that I see you and let this lift you. Let it lift you. Let it lift you out of your despair. Let it lift you out of your pain, your hopelessness. Let it give you that hope that yes, right? It like opens that pathway energetically so the light can come in and be a guidance. Be a guidance. Here's a path that might help you to get out of your pain, out of your struggle, and start to bring your life back into balance, to bring you the the true love and compassion that you've been seeking all along from the very beginning, to know your truth, to know that you are a valuable human being, that you are okay, that you are worthy of love. And guess what? The love is here. Not only are you worthy of it, but you can receive it. And guess what? It's inside you all along. You can know it from your inner self too. So again, breathe into that depth of your heart that knows the wisdom, that knows the insight. What is it that you want to share? What is it that you want to give? How do you want to give? Where's your journey led you? I read a book a long time ago, shortly after I'd had my initial spiritual awakening and I began my seeking, and it was called Leading from the Center of the Pack. And it was a book that guided you through looking at the places in your life and the experiences you've had, the wisdom you've gained, and how is that like bringing you to a place of service. Do that little exploration right now. And if you have a pen and paper, you might want to write some things down. Like, what is it? How are you called to serve? And when we open for the Q&A at the end of this, we can perhaps have some discussions about it. I'd love to hear what insights are coming up for you. If you're listening on the live stream, you can put it in the comments, or you can find the phone number there, or the link there, find the phone number to join us by phone or by webcast. And just let yourself feel, breathe with it. I'm going to say another word about our children and our elderly. This has really been my journey over the last 6 years, living with my father from just before his 95th birthday until now. He's 100 years old. And, excuse me, I know what has kept him going, as his body is not as able to do the things he loves. I have been able to join him in watching his TV programs, which is something I didn't have a television in my adult life prior to living with him. by choice, but to join him in watching his TV programs and playing games and, you know, helping him to bake things, right? He loves to bake. He's a baker by trade, third generation French baker. And in helping him to do those things, he can't quite get around and move and lift in the way that he used to, but I can be his muscle and his mobility, and he can tell me what to do, and I'll, yeah, learn from his wisdom and appreciate that, acknowledge that, and give that just extension of his life. So he still feels that he's accomplished something. And he will say at the end of every evening, he likes to say, so what are we going to do tomorrow? I know this is part of what's kept him going. What are we going to do tomorrow? Talk about what are we going to do tomorrow, something we're going to like accomplish, something we're going to like bake or build or fix or someplace we're going to go. And then I carve out a little time in the afternoons that's going to be my time with him, that we're going to do whatever it is or something toward whatever project he wants to work on. And then after that, he always says, well, we accomplished something today, and that you know he's integrated and embodied that sense of fulfillment. He still feels capable. He still feels like he's got something to contribute to the world. And he knows, and he has said, and I know that this is what keeps him going. This is what keeps him going day after day. This is what's extended his life and given him joy. And our elderly people need that, right? We don't need to just put them away and, well, you can't do that anymore, and therefore there's no use for you here. And the same with our children. And I've had also children in my life during this time, my nephew's children especially, and getting to be with them and just see how their little hearts respond to different things and how sensitive they can be, how important our words are with children, to give them confidence, to give them hope, to give them some sense of value and some sense of belonging and purpose. Our words with our children are so important. And so many of us at the middle here, in the middle between the uh, the 100 years olds and the 10-year-olds. That's my balance in life right now. I got a 100-year-old and 10-year-old. Um, but those of us in the middle, we can feel how when we didn't have those things, how they impacted us. And maybe we're sitting with a lack of confidence and or a feeling like, well, I wish I could have done that, but I was not encouraged. I was discouraged. I was like, I didn't have the support that I needed to be able to do. I know I feel that a lot. Like there's just think of what I would have done in life if I'd had that encouragement and support to do what I really felt passionate about. And I didn't have it as a child. So I'm living it now. It's like, okay, I can do what I can do now, right? But it's important and it's fulfilling when we can recognize that, and it's healing, right? The universe is always going to bring you people when you say, yes, I want to be of service. Yes, I want to, I have that compassion and I want to share that. I have some insights and some wisdom and I want to share that. I want to help to build other people up the way either I was built up or I wish I had been built up, because I can see it more clearly now. And the universe will bring you those people. They'll put them right in front of you and say, here's a gift for you. When you support and help this person, you're going to get clearer insight into yourself. You're going to understand your own self more clearly. You're going to have greater self-acceptance and self-love through this experience. Or here's someone, and as you're helping them to find their next step, you're going to find your next step. Something's going to open and be more clear for you, right? Is so often we think, well, I'm not fixed enough yet, but trust where you are, do what you can from where you are, open your heart, reach out, not to try to be something or ahead of where you are or anything like that, but just from where you are. Reach out, offer that love, offer that extension of your hand. How can you serve from this place? And the universe will bring you, God will bring you what you need to take your next step, to evolve to your next transformation, your next evolution, and to return, your reward is the fulfillment. We all want that sense of fulfillment. We all want that sense of purpose, of knowing that we can make a difference. It's human nature and it's so very important to us. So let your heart feel that and let your own heart be expanded and built up. And this really integrates, again, making whole, integrating into your core how significant you are and important you are to this world, how you were created on purpose for a purpose. You went through everything you went through in your life on purpose for a purpose, that you too can then pay that forward and help. So take a breath, breathe that in, take it all the way into your core, breathe it all the way into the core of your body. Let it fill your entire core. As you exhale, drop down, land into your pelvic bowl. Feel yourself center in your pelvic bowl. Anchor into that center of gravity. Lean into your spine and absorb all of this knowledge into your body. Let it just integrate, right? It's going to shift your energies. Let your energy just be integrated along your core. It's like strengthening the trunk of your tree and grounding it and rooting it into the earth. Just feel that strengthen you, ground you as it integrates, anchor you into the earth, and let your heart bow in gratitude. And as your heart bows in gratitude for whatever you have received, whatever you have received from this incredible life journey, the wisdom you've gained, the insights that you have, the compassion you can share, the depth of your own being that you've come to know, that you can and have the ability to share that much more deeply with others. Just let yourself bow in gratitude for that. Let your heart bow, and as your heart bows, just let your whole body drink in that love and compassion and wisdom even deeper. And if you want to make a one more thing that you can write, if you have a pen and paper, or you can just do it internally, maybe make a commitment if this feels right for you. Make a commitment to yourself, to your own heart, your own inner, like your highest self that's connected with your source. Making that commitment to yourself and your source to really use what you've been given in this life for the greater good, right? And ask for that guidance to show up and to guide you, like show you your next step. But just first make that commitment. Once you make that commitment, you say yes and trust, because the next step will show up. And if you get some insight about that, you can put pen to paper, write that commitment. What is that commitment that you want to make? One of the things that we do in my divine manifestation program is that we look for and write down positive signs that the universe is giving us those next steps, that is supporting us on whatever journey, right? Whatever pathway that we have embarked on, whatever commitment, whatever intention we've set, commitment we've made, that we can write that next step. I mean, that we can see those positive signs. We see those positive signs because they're there. Once you say yes to something that's been put in your heart, those positive signs will start showing up. That sign that the universe is here to support you, that guidance, that insight, that wisdom, this door opens here and light comes on over there. It's all positive signs. And I was just recently last week, well, while I was gone these last 2 weeks, I was in Switzerland at a retreat studying the Ibn Arabi's cosmology, right? The emanation of creation and consciousness. And there's one of the things that Eric Winkle Shoaib shared with us about that what Ibn Arabi wrote. He's translating, excuse me, he's translating Ibn Arabi's openings in Mecca. And one of the things he said was that you don't have a blessing until you have counted that blessing and articulated it. And this is what gives meaning to your life. When you really take in those blessings, when you count those blessings, when you articulate those blessings, and that's where you really receive it. That's where you really get it at the deep cellular level, where it can really make a difference. Because if, blessings are coming all the time, but if you don't like acknowledge it, they just kind of fly around, right? Once you really acknowledge it and articulate it and count it like, yes, this is a blessing, then you really get it and it gets integrated into your being. And that's what makes the meaning in your life, right? That's what gives your life meaning. That's where you can acknowledge the meaning and feel it. So look for, when you make that commitment, look for what shows up, the positive signs that the universe is there to support you. They will show up. And then write them down, acknowledge them, articulate them, really get it into your being, right? Because that really aligns you with, like, oh, yes, I am on a path here. I am on a forward trajectory. I am being guided. I am being supported, right? Aligns your whole being with that. Then you can really just see more, right? It's kind of like when you buy a red car and of a certain kind, you never saw any like that before, but all of a sudden then you start seeing them all over the place. But it's that you start acknowledging these positive signs and really integrating them into your being, and then you see them all over the place. Oh my gosh, here's another one. Oh my gosh, here's another one. And it really, it just gets you on that path. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay, so now let's go into our Q&A time. I'd love to hear what came up for you during this. I'm going to close out the recording so we can open for the Q&A. If you're on the live stream and you want to join us, there's a link there. You can go to the website, find the phone number to call in and be a part of the Q&A. If you are watching the recording, be sure to join us next week live. 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. You can find information for joining us live at communityforconsciousliving.com, communityforconsciousliving.com. While you're there, sign up to receive the reminders and the replays. You'll be notified of other events that we have as well. And you will receive 2 free gifts when you sign up. One is a one sheet that is 10 spiritual principles of our human existence and what this life journey is about. It's a good reminder. It's just a simple bulleted reminder of why we're here, what this world is about, what this life is about. And it just helps us to remember when we get caught in the weeds, lost in the weeds sometimes, right? And it also comes with a 15-minute downloadable guided meditation that you can download. I hope you'll make it a part of your daily practice to help you to connect with that pure divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion that is a part of who and what you are at the core of your being. All right, and with that, I thank you for being here today. Join us for the live Q&A, and I'll see you next week. Thanks.